Okay, but this was interesting yesterday. So this was getting floated around on this NBA Central account. It's a big aggregate site. They put out like Windhorse said this, Woj said this. I'm not gonna lie, it's a good Twitter account for whale porn. Like if you want to get your whale on, it's got some good stuff. I can't lie. But Windhorse yesterday, they tweet out that the Heat. Let me get the exact vernacular of what they had said about this. They said the Miami Heat might not extend Bam Adebayo this offseason to help save cap space for 2021 per free agency, per Windhorst. And I was like, all right. Well, let's see what Windhorst had to actually say about this. I need to do some deep diving because when you hear that, it's like, all right, that sounds, I guess, good idea. We've definitely talked about that. Like, you know, the idea if the Heat wanted to go get Giannis, obviously it's more helpful if Bam doesn't sign his extension until the next year. But what was Windhorst writing about? So he was doing this piece on NBA ownership, Leroy, and how some owners are losing a lot of money. A lot of owners are losing money. Some are losing up to $50 million. And there is a blurb in there about the Miami Heat. And it says, Miami Heat owner Mickey Arison has lost $2.5 billion in net worth since March after his Carnival Cruise Lines was shuttered. Although the Arison family is in a completely different debt portfolio than recent buyers, they bought the team in 1987 for $32.5 million. In 2015, he liquidated $433 million in Carnival stock. The Heat have the second highest payroll in the NBA this season, with several key players like Goran Dragic, Jay Crowder, and Myers Leonard headed for free agency. And while they expect to save some cap room to chase free agent stars like Giannis Antetokounmpo in 2021, it might not extend young all-star Bam Adebayo this year to help facilitate the plan. Their spending for next year could be impacted by those financial factors. And then Windhorst.
Could you pretty much put any player in the NBA and say that? Because of all the owners, I mean, the one of the people who's least affected, and I'm not saying that he's not losing a lot of money, but is still going to survive this, even though he's not worth as much, is Mickey Arison. There's other owners.
Yeah,
there's other owners that are going to feel this pinch a lot more.
Yes.
So while he's saying this about Bam, there's other teams.
Well, the reason why it's interesting, the reason why it's a factor for Bam and why it's a factor for the Heat is because people think of the Heat as actually having a shot to land big free agents. They are a big free agent destination. And so if you do have big plans and there are financial things that are hanging over your head. Now, look, the Bam thing's not a money issue. It's a cap issue. Like, it's a question of how much flexibility you're able to have. It's not saying that the Heat aren't going to have enough money to pay Bam. It's just a question of, are you going to be able to fit Giannis in if you have to go in and you have to pay Bam this year. Now look,
that ain't Bam's problem.
They just figured this out with Jimmy Butler with more obstacles, but there were no obstacles. There are tons of them, but there are none. Riley told you I asked, but he was able to pull that off with Jimmy Butler. Would it completely block them? No. Ideally for the Heat, like look, if the Heat had their whims about it and you knew it wasn't gonna ruffle Bam's feathers. Sure, they would because it's not going to change his salary that year, so they would much rather give him the extension. But Bam wants it probably down on paper. We'll get into more of this because Windhorst then he doubled down on this, and he said there ain't no. He says from what he's hearing, there's no maybe about it. That the Heat are for sure not going to give Bam their extension this year, and if that is the case, how terrible an idea is that? That's next. Windhorst is talking about his extension, and he's saying there's no maybe about this. There's no maybe Bam's going to not sign his extension or they're not thinking about signing his extension. He goes and says, there's no maybe about it. The Heat aren't signing him this offseason.
Bam Adebayo, another late lottery pick, great pick by the Heat. The Heat have made a number of really good transactions over the last 12 months, moving out Hassan Whiteside, opened it up for Bam, who can handle the ball and also play center. all-star. He's not going to get a max contract in the offseason, even though I think he should, because the Heat are going to save money for the 2021 summer. That's a storyline that I can almost guarantee for you is that Bam Adebayo will not sign the contract extension this offseason, and it'll be Bam, we'll take care of you later.
So he's saying, I can almost guarantee you that he is not going to get his extension this summer because they want to save money for 2021. And, I can't believe I'm saying this, but because we've had this debate. We talked about this.
We have.
The idea that they're going to save him for 2021. If you were a Heat idealist and you were sitting in the Riley tulips, and Lord knows that I've definitely laid down some soil for that garden, you would love to think, hey, Bam's in on this. He wants to get Giannis. He wants to play with the superstar. He's a great recruiter. And by the way, he is all these things. People love him. People want to play with him. People, he's wearing the Bradley Beal jerseys after games. He's Donovan Mitchell's BFF. All this type of stuff. But if you're going to compare the scenario of him going after Giannis Antetokounmpo and him waiting on that, you got to remember, the dude has not gotten that max contract yet. Giannis has. Right? He's not a rookie. The other thing is, all right, Bam. I mean, that was, I'm sorry. I'm just letting the people know. The other thing is, the Heat haven't faced this kind of scenario before, Leroy, where they've asked the young guy who's never gotten paid to wait.
Right.
They've asked Wade to do it. And by the way, Wade, it took him doing it twice before he got fed up and left. He did do it twice. Did it once when LeBron signed. Did it once when LeBron left. So I just think you should tread lightly a little bit. A little bit. Would it be a death blow? Probably not. He can still become a restricted free agent that can match anything. But if you truly think of this guy as this blossoming superstar, is it a bad... You shouldn't hold it against him because he became something in 1 year when you probably thought initially when you had this Giannis plan, he wasn't going to become this the first year you allowed him to start. Because if it was going to be the Bam if you thought it was probably on a normal Bam trajectory, hell, Bam might have wanted to get another year under his belt to double down on him getting a max. But he became an all-star in basically a year starting. A year. It was fast-tracked. And sometimes you can't see these things coming, and them's the breaks.
Well, here's the deal. Tomorrow, nobody has any idea where this is going to be as far as what the salary cap's going to be, how contracts are going to be, what people are going to get paid. You have no idea.
Are fans allowed in the building?
Right. So my deal is this, is that if you have a chance to get your contract and not have to worry about all those issues, okay, then you get your money. The thing you said is most important. Okay? A lot of guys are trying to get to the position of where Bam is. To get that first contract and have that first contract be a max. It doesn't happen that often. It only happens with star players. Bam, who's, 22, 23?
He just turned 23 last week.
Right. 23 years old. And get him to understand, hey, we're going to wait to sign you. More important, look, forget the money. I get the circumstance. I get what the Heat may be trying to do. Okay? But go to your 23-year-old. Go to any 23-year-old on the street. Go anywhere, or a guy who just got out of college and has a job. And ask them to do that. In any line of work. Hey, we want you to wait before we give you a new contract. Come on, man. That doesn't even... to even go down that road, like, if you're the Heat and you're a Heat fan, are you nervous that Bam may react negatively towards this?
I would
Don't say what you hope.
I would
Don't
be
say
a
what
little
you
nervous.
hope.
I would be a little nervous. I don't think I
Right.
would be tremendously nervous because I think that I would be a little nervous because I wouldn't want to upset a guy who I think is going to be my best player for the next decade. You know, I think that it's so rare that you hit on a guy this good because we did this thing. You know, we talked about this last week with Justice Winslow. How much time do we try and talk ourselves into Justice Winslow? Maybe he's good. Maybe he's a star. Maybe he's a role player. Maybe he's this. Jay Rich. Maybe he can take the ball. Maybe he could be that guy. Look, with Bam, the dude looks like a bona fide star championship piece. You got one. Like, you should just look at him and just be like, I got one on him. And also, I don't want it to get to the point where Heat fans are pissed at him because they think, come on, Bam, just do us a solid. Where you have to remember, this is not the same thing as Dwayne Wade. This is not the same thing as Big Three Dwayne Wade. This is not the same thing as post LeBron leaving Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade was paid. Dwayne Wade was already had, you know, shoe deals, endorsements, already was a superstar. You know, Bam has had none of that stuff. A lot of people are just learning who Bam is.
Yeah, I think look, and add to the fact that, you know, Bam's around when everybody else was getting taken care of. You know, not to his level, but still, when you have an organization that has, since Bam has been here, given the impression that, hey, when you start balling, we gonna take care of you as soon as possible. And so Bam is like, okay, here we are. I'm here. Let's do this. And then turn around and say, no, we want you to wait. Now, keep in mind, it's not like he's not making a lot of money.
Yeah.
But
He's making good money. Like, his contract this year he's making $5 million this year. Or he's making,
Right.
I'm sorry, he's making 3.5 this year. His contract next year is 5.1. And then his 2021 season, the qualifying offer is $7.1 million, which would put a cap hold of $12.7 million. The cap is so stupid. Is this thing?
right.
They just make up
So
numbers.
from that standpoint, I don't think he's doing anything wrong by wanting to get paid. He's not. He really isn't. And I think any of us who are in that situation, seeing what's going on in the NBA, more importantly, if you had a chance to sign an extension now or wait to see how basketball is going to be and what the salary cap is going to be a year from now, get your money now. I think everybody, look, we all made fun of Bradley Beal, but I bet you we would have did the same thing knowing what we know now, right?
Yeah, I just don't want to hear him. Just stop flirting.
Hey,
hey,
that's a side. That's different.
Yeah, you
I'm
know,
saying
just-
from the standpoint of a profession and getting paid, right? He clearly, if he wants to maximize his worth, he did the right thing, knowing what we know now.
do you think that he? So do you think Riley even broaches it? Or do you think Riley knows? He's got to bring it up to him, right? Or does he
Not to
bring it up
him, because you know what Bama say? Talk to my agent.
You don't
Right?
think he does the? You don't think he does
Nope.
the He doesn't do the Parcells where he tries to sign Ricky Williams on a post-it.
Nope. Nope.
He just hits him with the. He gives him the ring and they tell him to bring me my money.
Because here, I make you Bam.
Tell him, bring me my money.
Robbie, give me a phone ring. Give me.
I'm
Hey,
Bam.
Bam. No, yeah, you Bam.
Okay.
I'm Pat Riley. Hey, Bam. What's going on?
What's up, Godfather? What's up, man?
You know, before, I don't want you to think I'm here with a hidden agenda. But
Because I remember
Here's
you.
what-
Because I remember you, Riley. You said no smiling faces with hidden agendas. I remember you
That-
saying that.
that is correct.
All right.
Here's what we want to do. Okay? In order to put you, the star of our team, in the best position to win championships, because that's what we do around here.
Of course,
We
of
win
course.
championships.
Heat culture, baby.
Heat culture. That's right.
Heat culture, baby.
What we want to do is we want to wait a year
Yeah.
before giving you an extension.
Well, why do you want to do that? Like who?
Because we want to be able to surround you and be able to have an opportunity to surround you with other players on your level. Because we all about winning championships.
Talk about that Greek freak, right?
Possibly.
You know,
we have some options out
You
there.
know, we got me and him. We got the same agent. You want me to put in a word? Here's
Yep.
the thing. You know what the funny thing is though, Pat. You know, it was funny. I was just talking to Giannis. I'm actually going to go work out with him this summer. He's got his own island in Greece because he's already rich. Give me my money.
Hey, boy. Hey, I'm borderline about to throw a -1 at you for flip-flopping so hard. Your back should be hurting. You
should
were
be
on
proud
your
of me.
belly.
You should be
You were
proud of
on
me.
your belly.
You should be proud of me. You should be proud of me because I've learned.
Okay, like you did what it took you that long to learn a lesson that young players want their money?
No,
and have
it's-
every right to get it?
It's this guy. It's this guy who deserves his money.
Oh, okay, but that's here. Now, if I'm Bam, I'm asking my agent. I say, hey, if I wait,
It's a lot of pressure to put on him because
no, it ain't not at all.
No, it is.
Not at
because
all.
It is for the Heat to go to him. It's different for when the Heat did this with Dwayne Wade and the whole, everybody thinks it was a CAA operation where Dwayne and Bosh and LeBron, they all had agents under the same roof. And that, there's a lot of that underbelly of the NBA is run by agents and all that type of stuff. So you have this one agent, and he happens to have really two high-profile guys. One of them is Bam Adebayo, and one of them is Giannis Antetokounmpo. So this agent's already fat and sassy with Giannis. He goes, he just watches the money pour in. But now he's got this guy in Bam who's kind of come out of nowhere this year and has blossomed into a star in the span of a season. And you're saying, hey, let's use this guy as a puppet to play both. And not take care of his guy who doesn't have a contract like Giannis does. He doesn't have a signature shoe like Giannis does.
Let me put it this way. I make you Bam's agent, right? And you have no idea what the salary cap's going to be. You don't know what the circumstance is going to be next year, right? Is it in your client's best interest to have him play the NBA basketball market? So, for example, you can get a max deal, $25 million a year, right? But then you wait, and next year you can only get $80 million. Should you fire your agent right away?
Ooh, possibly.
Okay. So let's look at it from that standpoint. You don't know what the salary cap's going to be in 2021.
Might not be fans.
Right. You have no idea what the salary cap's going to be in 2021. So we're going to come here on the radio and we're going to say, well, Bam signed his extension and he lost 25 million because he didn't sign it last year. Now, you're going to look at him and say, somebody got to get fired.
Yeah,
Because if your agent...
And how about this? And imagine he does that and they also don't get Giannis.
Right. That's look. No matter what Pat says to Bam, right? He can't guarantee him Giannis.
Right.
You're asking him to risk.
If you guys are watching all this decision retroactive and you guys want me to believe that you didn't know LeBron was coming till he said the words, I'm taking my talents to South Beach, and now make that Bam Adebayo who's sitting there watching the Greek decision, and you got Ja Rule in the back making tzatziki sauce gyros, and he's sitting there watching, and then all of a sudden Giannis says, I'm going to stay in Milwaukee, and he goes, what the? Opa!
Yep.